stretch. You can put it on the board. Yes.
I'm Ringmaster Sal, live from the Hotel TV of choice. We don't really know which one it is now, do we? Actually, we can't tell you. We're in one of the Hotel TV studios. And folks, we are carried on Hotel TV from coast to coast. And we're down in Texas. That's all we can tell you right now. Today's show is brought to you by UppercutChops.com. Check out their tasty selection of all natural USDA prime Angus and Wagyu steaks and chops. Wait till you see their best-in-class Wagyu New York steaks, filet mignons, and of course, the king of all, the ribeye. How about those tomahawk ribeyes? Wow. Even the gourmet Angus and Wagyu burgers will blow you away. In fact, for more information and check out what's for dinner, 702-799-9935, 702-799-9935, again, 702-799-9935, or check them out online for more information at www.uppercutchops.com. That's uppercutchops.com. All right, a big welcome in to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Of course, Magic 97.9 FM over in Las Vegas, and our flag station, KCAA, NBC News, CNBC Financial, covering sunny Southern California. Big hello to our friends streaming on social media, AAMP.TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow AAMP.TV as well. And hello to everybody watching on Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, and WOW Cable affiliates. All right. And everybody knew this was coming. A lot of other people talked about it already, but that's okay. Because guess what? Everybody has to. When the greatest quarterback of all time is going to hang it up, something tells me you must acknowledge him. So Tom Brady actually did is announce his retirement. According to NBC Sports, Tom Brady said that he was still going through the process. Everybody's heard that. Going through the process. Whatever that process is, whatever, he'll figure it out. Really deciding whether or not he would retire from the NFL. And of course, he actually has done that. So at the end of the day, folks, he's already done it. But look, he's the story within a story within a story. So he announced his retirement in posts on social media, of course, began by saying that football requires an all-in commitment in order to succeed, and that he has that commitment. He's had it for the last 22 years before going on to say the commitment was no longer there. And he had said, quote, "This is difficult for me to write, but here it goes. I'm not going to make that competitive commitment anymore. I have loved my NFL career, and now it's time to focus on my time and energy on other things that require my attention," close quote. Now, Brady went on to thank his teammates and coaches and fans, and of course, his family in a very lengthy message. And he continued on by saying, quote, "My playing career has been such a thrilling ride and far beyond my imagination and full of ups and downs. And when you're in it every day, you really don't think about any kind of an ending. And as I sit here, however, I think all the great players and coaches I was privileged to play with and against, the competition was fierce and deep, just how we like it. But the friendships and relationships are just as fierce and deep. And I'll remember and cherish those memories and revisit them often. I feel like the luckiest person in the world," close quote. You know, everybody thinks and says, well, this was the greatest player of all time, the GOAT, whatever. I think he was actually the GLOAT, the greatest leader of all time. I think that's a little bit more fitting. I mean, look, yes, greatest player, whatever, that's always up for debate. But greatest leader, now that's it. So signs have pointed to Brady walking away from the game, really, since the Bucs lost to the Rams recently. And of course, now we know for certain that he's reached the end of the road for the 199th draft pick overall. I'd say he did pretty well. What do you think? Let's take a look at some of those career accomplishments. Why? Just because he is due that. And we're going to give him that respect. In fact, one of our sidekicks here played with Tom Brady, won a couple Super Bowls with him. That's Tyrone Poole, two-time Super Bowl champion and American Ninja Warrior. Tyrone played with Tom. He's a cornerback for that back-to-back Super Bowl 38 and Super Bowl 39 championships. And so as a homage to him, to his team, to his teammates, let's cover some of these, shall we? This is kind of fun. When we think of the who's who, we think of a long list of this, that, and the other, but then we think about all those big accomplishments. And so his career records, mind you, career records, regular season and playoffs combined in some of these. Here we go. Let's clear the show. It's going to be a second. So these are a list of Tom's records, etc. So Tom is the most NFL championships by a player in 7. We know that. The most championships in pro football history by a quarterback. Yes, we'll clear up again. 7. Tied with Otto Graham. Yes, good old Otto Graham from a lot of years ago. The most games won by a player, 277. Man, that's a lot. Most games played by a quarterback, 363. Most games started by a quarterback, 361. So you look at those last two and you say, you know what? This guy played in 363 games, but he started 361. Most games by a skill player position, 363. And most games started by a skill position player, 361. The records go on, folks. This is crazy. Most combined passing attempts, 13,081. Most combined pass completions, 8,369. So he was 8,369 for 13,081. That's ridiculous. Most combined touchdown passes, 707. So if you look at these numbers, he's running about about 9% of his passes. We'll call it 8.5%, 9%. Were touchdown passes. Most combined passing yards, 96,969. 96,969. That's his most combined passing yards. Most game-winning drives, 67. Imagine just doing it once, not 67 times. Most fourth quarter comebacks, 51. That's Tom terrific. Most times sacked, 615. Boy, that's a lot of times hit the turf. Most players throwing touchdown passes too. He threw to 92 different recipients of touchdown passes. How's that? And how about the regular season? Let's think about this for a moment. Most games won by a player, 243. Tom Brady, most games played by a non-kicker, 318. Most games started by a skilled position player, 316. Mind you, these are all records, folks. 4th NFL player to beat all 32 teams. It's ridiculous. Most season with 40-plus touchdown passes, 3. One of 2 quarterbacks to have multiple 5,000-yard seasons. I believe those other 2 were Drew Brees. Most games of 2 touchdown passes or more, 176. Best touchdown to interception ratio, 28-2. Those are stellar, stupid numbers. Most wins on the road by a quarterback, 110. Most wins at home by a quarterback, 133. Most wins in one regular season by a quarterback, 16. Only quarterback to have 3 consecutive games with 300-plus passing yards, 3-plus touchdown passes, and no interceptions. Well, if I had my applause, it'd be an astounding round of applause. Most season with 35-plus touchdown passes, 6. Oh, yeah, beat goes on. Most regular season starts by a player, 315. Oldest quarterback to lead a team in passing yards, 44. He just did it, 5,316 yards. Crazy stuff. Most yards in a single season for a quarterback age 40 or over, 53-16. Of course, he's 44. Oldest player to win NFL MVP, 40 years of age. Yeah, 40. Most players are retired by the time they're 30. Oldest position player to be named first team All-Pro. First team All-Pro. That's by the players, coaches. That's the one that's earned, not Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl's by the fans and crap like that. He did that, of course, at 40 years of age. Most career passing yards with one team, 74,571. Most career passing yards, 84,520. Most career passing touchdowns with one team, 541. Folks, we have to do this. This is Tom Brady. This is his final numbers. Most Pro Bowl selections, 15. Most seasons quarterbacking for one team, 19 seasons. Most career passing completions, 7,263. We're running out of time here for the segments. Most career passing attempts, 11,317. Most career touchdown passes, 624. Most seasons at passing a touchdown leader, 5. Most consecutive 10-win seasons as a starting quarterback, 13 seasons he did that. Most consecutive 11 wins, he did that 12 times. Most consecutive seasons on a 9-7 team or better, above 500, 21 times. Most touchdown passes in a season as a starting quarterback, age 40 or over, 43. Only quarterback to have 40 passing touchdowns in a season, both AFC and NFC. Folks, this is ridiculous. Tell you what, we have to take a break. And we're coming back with this. You know why? Because it's Tom Brady, and we owe that to him. He entertained us for years, and we're going to pay him a little bit more respect here in the next segment. Lots more to come. We're going to go over all his playoff records and whatnot. We just spent the last, 5, 6, 7 minutes covering just the regular season and its other totals. So now it's going to be the playoffs. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come here on the Sports Circus. Back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happened. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. Again, that's 800-361-3491.
AMP, the multi-format network, is here to help create, produce, distribute, and sell your content. For more information, send a message to info@aamp.tv. That's info@aamp.tv.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com, or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away.
Come on, you watch the news. Be prepared to pay more taxes. Then if you owe back taxes or haven't filed in a few years, get ready. The IRS, the largest collection agency in the world, will be coming after you with the power to collect taxes by any means they want to. Hey, they can freeze your bank account, your passport, even padlock your business. Oh, good times. Look, if the IRS claims you owe them $5,000 or more in back taxes and they're coming after you, don't panic. Call my friends at Get a Tax Lawyer first. Their job is to negotiate with the IRS and save you money. They're experts at it. That's all they do. And you can trust them. In some cases, they have reduced a $50,000 tax bill to less than $1,000. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more in back taxes, call now for a free consultation.
800-908-7016. 800-908-7016. 800-908-7016. That's 800-908-7016.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from an undisclosed location here in the fabulous great state of Texas at Hotel TV satellite headquarters. Big thanks for everyone listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, including our friends over in Honolulu on CBS Sports 1500 KHKA. Big hello to our friends over in sunny Southern California as well, and that is KCAA 106.5, 102.3 FM, and 1050 AM from the high desert all the way out to Catalina Island and beyond. That's NBC News and CNBC Financial. And hello to our friends over in fabulous Las Vegas on KIOF 97.9 FM. And of course, they're right around the corner from the Fremont Street Experience. And hello to our friends right in Natchez, Mississippi, and Faraday, Louisiana, on 107.1 The River, Mid-South Broadcasting. Say out to Jim, Bob, and the boys from Redneck Adventures. And, of course, our friends over in Auburn, Alabama, on the world champion Atlanta Braves Radio Network, WAUD. Thanks for listening in. Also in Atlanta on WDJY 99.1 FM. And, of course, all of our listeners and viewers on AMPTV, AAMP.TV. And make sure you like, subscribe, and follow AMPTV, AAMP.TV. And, of course, a big hola, como esta, to our friends over on Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, and WOW Cable affiliates, and all of our other independents as well. I think we covered everybody, including the Mars rover and those in hot air balloons. This segment brought to you in part by Curry Leaf, fine Indian cuisine over in Las Vegas. Curry Leaf, check them out, curryleafvegas.com. Find out what's for dinner. Could be tandoori chicken, could be tikka masala, it could be tandoori salmon, butter chicken, all the good stuff is there, folks. Check them out. 5025 South Fort Apache, number 101. 5025 South Fort Apache, number 101, off the southwest corner of Fort Apache Road and Tropicana in the southwest corner of Las Vegas, only about 10 minutes from the Strip. So everybody driving out from sunny Southern California, make sure that you spend a little bit of time away from the Strip and go have yourself a gourmet meal at the right numbers. Believe me, you're not going to go broke by going there. The food is fantastic. I'm there myself once, twice a week anyway. It's really good stuff. Again, that's curryleafvegas.com, or give them a call for reservations at 702-527-7977, 702-527-7977, and just tell them that you heard about all of this on the Sports Circus. All right. In the last segment, it was a really nice, call it what you will. Maybe homage, maybe it's a tribute to Tom Brady. We'll call it a tribute. So Tom Brady, of course, everybody knows, yes, he retired. But look, everybody has talked about it, but you've got to do this because this guy is probably going to retire only one time. So we're going over all the records. Now, we went over a bunch of records from the regular season totals, whatnot. Now we're going to talk about the playoffs, all his playoff records and so forth. And then, of course, we'll get past this and get to the NFL and get to some other stuff too. But we have to do this for Tom because Tom is terrific. And guess what? We owe it to him. So his playoff records, we just read a laundry list in the last segment of his regular season and so forth. These are his playoffs. Most consecutive seasons in the NFL by a team, player, or head coach. Playoffs, mind you, 13. Most wins in the playoffs, 35. Most games started, 45 playoff games started. How many players even start 45 games in their career, let alone the playoffs? Most starting quarterbacks beaten, 27 different starting quarterbacks beaten. Most teams beaten, 19 in the playoffs. Most stadiums won in the playoffs as a quarterback, 13. Most games won by a starting quarterback in the playoffs, 34. Most consecutive wins by a starting quarterback, 10. From 2001 to 2005. That's nuts. Most postseason touchdown passes to different players, 34. Most postseason road wins by a quarterback, 7. Oldest player to throw a touchdown pass, 43 years, 6 months, 4 days in the playoffs. A 43-year-old, 43-and-a-half-year-old plus 4 days. That's nuts. Most consecutive wins to start a career by a starting quarterback, 10. Most career home wins by a starting quarterback, 20. Most consecutive home wins by a starting quarterback, 9. That goes from 2013 to 2019. Most playoff touchdown passes, 83. Most touchdown passes between a quarterback and receiver in the playoffs, 14. Those were all to Gronk. Most passing yards in the playoffs, 12,449. Now think about this, folks. Let's wrap your head around this for a minute. A lot of quarterbacks in the NFL will have maybe 3,000, 3,500 yards passing per season. Tom had in the playoffs 12,500 yards. We'll call it 12,449. That's the equivalent, I don't know, of what, 4 full playoff seasons? Four full seasons, regular seasons, mind you, but actually in the playoffs. This guy has spent, I don't know, 25% of his career in the playoffs, something to that effect. I'm saying in actual games played, this is unbelievable when you start to amass all these. Most passing yards in a single playoff game, 505 at Super Bowl 52. Most passes completed in the playoffs, 1,106. Most passes attempted, 1,764. So this guy in his career in the playoffs was 1,106 for 1,764. That's insane. Most passes intercepted. Yes, he's had 38 of those. Most division titles won by a starting quarterback, 18. Most NFL conference championship appearances by a starting quarterback, 14. The conference champion, 14 times. That's insane. Again, most NFL conference championships wins by a starting quarterback, 10. Oldest quarterback to win an NFC title game, 41 years and 5 months and 17 days. Oldest quarterback to win an NFC title game, 43 years, 174 days. How many minutes and seconds? Doesn't matter. Most career 300-plus passing yard game in the playoffs, 16. Most game-winning drives in the playoffs, 14. Most fourth-quarter comebacks in the playoffs, 9. Most multi-touchdown passes in a playoff game, 27. Oh, by the way, we have these other ones. They're called Super Bowl records. Most wins as a player, 7, which we all know that one. Most wins as starting quarterback, 7. More wins than any one NFL franchise total has had, period. Is there a quarterback? He is the only quarterback to win the Super Bowl for both the AFC and the NFC, right? So equal opportunity employers. One of the only 2 quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl for 2 separate teams, the other being Peyton Manning. Most touchdown passes, 21. These are Super Bowl, by the way. Most passing yards, 21 touchdown passes in Super Bowls. Wrap your head around that one. Winning 7, you're averaging, 3 per win. Most passing yards in Super Bowls, a full season of them, 3,039. Most passes completed, 277. Most passes attempted. So in the Super Bowls, in all of his Super Bowls, this guy has gone 277 for 421. 277 for 421. Most passes completed in the first half of a Super Bowl game, 20. It's in Super Bowl 49. That's crazy. Most passes completed in a single Super Bowl, 43. That was in Super Bowl 52. Most pass attempts in a single Super Bowl, 62. Most passing yards in a single Super Bowl, 505, Super Bowl 52. Most Super Bowl appearances, 10. He was in a Super Bowl 10 times. 10. No wonder people were getting sick of him. Get over it. That's why he's Tom Terrific. Most passing attempts without an interception in a single Super Bowl, 48 without an interception. Did that Super Bowl 42 and Super Bowl 52. Oldest quarterback to start a Super Bowl, 43 years, 6 months, 5 days. Oldest quarterback to win one, 43 years, 6 months, 5 days. Oldest player to win Super Bowl MVP, yes, Tom Brady, 43 years, 6 months, and 5 days. Oldest quarterback from the AFC to start a Super Bowl, 41 years, 6 months. Oldest quarterback from the AFC to win a Super Bowl, 41 years, 6 months. Oldest player from the AFC to win Super Bowl MVP, 39 years, 6 months, 2 days. Yeah, I'm doing this because it's Tom, so get over it, folks. This is good stuff. If you want to hear the accolades of somebody that has really done it, this is the pinnacle. There's nobody that's done this stuff. This is unbelievable. Oldest quarterback from the AFC to win Super Bowl MVP, 39. Oldest quarterback from the NFC to start a Super Bowl, 43 years, 6 months, 5 days. Oldest quarterback from the NFC to win a Super Bowl, 43 years, 6 months, and 5 days. Oldest player from the NFC to win a Super Bowl MVP, 43 years, 6 months, 5 days. And yes, most consecutive completions in a Super Bowl, 16, most game-winning drives, 6 in the Super Bowl. How about some awards and honors? This is it. This is going to do it. Believe it or not, 2 full segments of this. Brady is a 7-time Super Bowl champion, winning 6 titles with the New England Patriots, 1 with the Buccaneers, and with the NFL accolades, how about 7-time Super Bowl champion? How about 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time NFL MVP, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year, NFL Comeback Player of the Year, 3-time First-Team All-Pro, 3-time Second-Team All-Pro, 15-time Pro Bowl, 2000's All-Decade Team, 2010 All-Decade Team, NFL 100th Anniversary Team, and of course, the 2007 Burt Bell Award. By the way, 1997 National Championship by the Associated Press from Michigan Media Awards, 2-time Sports Illustrated Man of the Year, 2007 Associated Press Male of the Year, 5-time ESPY Award winner, 2021 Best Male, 3-time NFL Best Player, 2021 Outstanding Team Player, 2021 Time 100. I guess Tom is pretty damn good in football. What do you think? Jesus Christ, this guy is unbelievable. And good for him. And congratulations, Tom, on all of your accomplishments. You're one of a kind, young man. I can say that because I'm older. Back here in a few minutes on the circus. Lots more to come.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935, or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happened. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. Again, that's 800-361-3491.
So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm the Ringmaster Sal, live from Hotel TV, Anonymous Hotel. We can't tell you which one we're at, folks. We're down here in the great state of Texas, but we are here at one of the properties in which we're broadcasting. So they're getting a nice feed on Hotel TV in, let's face it, 200 plus markets from coast to coast. Thanks for joining us on Hotel TV, and of course our Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Wild Cable affiliates, CBS, NBC, and Fox, KIOF, Magic 97.9 FM, over at Fabulous Las Vegas. Thanks for everybody else streaming us, also watching us on AMTV, AAMP.TV. This segment brought to you in part by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, even contracts given to people they don't understand, plus a whole lot more. For more information, contact Legal Shield at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. 213-245-1305. Or visit online for more information at nocourt.us. That's www.nocourt.us. All right, welcome back. And we've had the last two segments was loaded with Tom Brady, record after record after record. And good for him. We're going to let that one sit right where it is. We're going to jump into the National Hockey League. Now, according to NBC Sports, there is a revised health protocol that's going on in the National Hockey League. Now, NBC Sports says, for better or for worse, sports leagues have been relaxing their alleged COVID policies. I put alleged in there. Their COVID policies, and the NHL is no different. The NHL announced its revisited and revised health protocols kicking in after the 2022 All-Star break, and the headliner is that the changes will remove the requirements for fully inoculated players to get tested daily. All right, so you must take the shot so you don't have to what? Get tested daily. Testing daily, that's another discussion. We'll get back to that. Now, the NHL's release notes, of course, that, quote, fully vaccinated individuals, close quote, won't be required to test daily, so they would seemingly also include front office members. Now, here are the changes the NHL announced to its protocol. Now, recommendations to receive booster inoculations as they become available. How many of those are we going to have? Hey, you look on those cards, those handy-dandy cards, there's a couple of shots for shot 1, shot 2, and then there's 1, 2, I think there's 2 spaces, 3, 4 spaces, I think on one side, something like that, for booster shots. Then you flip the card over, and then there's more of those. So the question is, how many of those do people actually have to take to play hockey in the National Hockey League or employees in the NHL? So, of course, those people are recommended to take those additional booster shots as they become available. Hit laugh track. Yes, of course. Now, removal of, quote, enhanced measures, close quote, and reverting instead to the start of season protocol, except where otherwise specified. Boy, that's just a bunch of gray, murky sky. It's not even blue sky. That's gray, murky sky. We don't even know what the hell that means. What the hell does that mean? Let's read that again. Removal of enhanced measures and reverting instead to the start of season protocol, except where otherwise specified. Basically, that is a whole lot of nothing. Now, here's another one. Updated recommendations for type of masks and steps to reduce community exposure. Folks, we've seen this time and time over. It's available. It's out there. Even the powers that be, the masks don't work. Oh, the masks work. Oh, the masks don't work. No, the masks work. The N95 work. Oh, the N95 don't work. Why don't they just wear hazmat suits? Look, if you want to stop something, anything from spreading, you wear a hazmat suit. Now you don't have a problem. So you have a bunch of people walking around like they're on the moon or something like that. That's kind of what it would look like. But if you're trying to stop something, the hazmat suit seems to be the best case scenario. Look at the Olympics, what China is doing on entry. They're all in full-blown hazmat suits just for people to come through there, which is a little bit ironic because they don't seem to have what? A COVID problem. How convenient. Maybe the cold and flu are available there because in the United States, you don't really see much of the cold and flu. What we hear is Omicron and all these other nonsensical variants, whatever, call it what you will. It's my opinion. I can say that. I think it's all a bunch of BS. Nonetheless, moving on, updated recommendations for types of masks. We covered that. Now, removal of requirements to test daily, for example, for cause, testing only for fully inoculated individuals. I'd be hitting my boo button left and right if I had it here. Removal of the requirement to test close contacts. Okay, seems like a violation of the Patient Privacy Act anyway. We'll keep going. Updated requirements for in-arena family spaces, game presentation, and on-ice ceremonies. So NBC Sports says, for what it's worth, the NFL removed the requirement for non-inoculated players to go through daily testing for a portion of the playoffs. So is it possible, or better yet, it's possible to have a protocol that's more lax than these loosened restrictions? Yet the whole thing, in my opinion, is BS in the first place. And you know it. I know it. Most people that aren't drinking the blue Kool-Aid, they know it too. So come on, folks. Let's think about this. What are we really talking about? Seems to me that there's something called the Nuremberg Code, where there are violations, and the violations are awfully steep. Do a little bit of a Google search, or you can do it on DuckDuckGo and get better results, in my opinion. And do a little research and read about something called the Nuremberg Code. There are 10 of those. And it seems to me that the powers that be are violating the Nuremberg Code 1 through 10. And more importantly, people cannot be coerced into doing what? Into taking a shot. They cannot be coerced into it. And that is exactly what the government is doing, and all of their cronies and everybody else involved with their day-to-day. They're on TV, take a shot, it's safe, blah, blah, blah. Really? What about the thousands of people? And I mean, seemingly tens of thousands. In some cases, Columbia University, as it was reported, had said there were 400,000 people that have died from this. What are we talking about here, folks? Seems to me like a little bit of the Spanish flu from about, 100 years ago. And then here's an interesting thing. Here's a fun exercise. Take a look at the doctor for the big foundation that was in charge of the medications for that. And you'll see a very familiar name, folks. I'm not going to say who it is. I won't spoil the fun. You'll see a very familiar name as the doctor from the Spanish flu time, all the way to today's time. Hit the cash register, please, and you'll find out exactly what we're talking about. We're going to come back to more of this nonsensical shot talk in a minute here, but I do want to acknowledge another NHL story. This is really good stuff. So for the longest time, you're playing in the NHL. It's a very, very, very tough thing to do. It's the toughest sport to play. They're the least paid out of the 4 major food groups of sports. And the Ironman is a really big deal. How many consecutive games you played, once held by great Blackhawks player Steve Larmer. So now it's currently held by the Flyers' Keith Yandel. He actually broke the record for the most consecutive NHL games played. And of course, this is CBS Sports. CBS Sports says the NHL has a new Ironman at 13-22. The Flyers don't have a lot. Listen, these guys are 9 games under 500. They don't really have a lot to celebrate. But of course, recently they were happy to announce and watch their defenseman Keith Yandel break the NHL record for most consecutive games played. What turned out to be a 4-3 loss, of course, to the Isles was Yandel's 965th straight game in the NHL. Folks, that is a ton. Let's put this into perspective. 82 games in the season. This guy has played nonstop the better part of 10, 12 seasons? The better part of 12 seasons? That's a lot. How grueling as a defenseman, blocking shots, taking hits, getting into fights, everything you can imagine, getting hacked and whacked, you name it, that's what they've done. But this guy has done it for about 12 seasons, nonstop. Unbelievable. This is his 16th season. Now, the Four Letter Network said that he said, quote, "It wasn't really something I expected, just kind of never really thought about it. And I saw the guys standing there for me, cheering. All the fans, it definitely meant a lot," close quote. Now, he passed former defenseman, or former forward, defensive forward, that is, Doug Jarvis, to break the record. And Jarvis did not miss a regular season game from October 8th, 1975 to October 10, 1987, spanning multiple teams. Now, Flyers interim coach Mike Yeo spoke highly of Yandel, of course, like he's supposed to, setting the new mark, like any coach would, of course. I mean, what the hell is he supposed to do? Not praise him? In fact, That's the type of reporting that you get from the four-letter network in the first place. Anyway, Yo said, quote, "It's an incredible accomplishment. Number one, you have to love the game. You have to battle through sickness and injuries, a level of professionalism to come to the rink every day and be ready to go. And he's a phenomenal teammate. And I thought he played a hell of a game tonight," close quote. While Yandel is now in sole possession of the record, we could still have another record-breaking person right behind him. Arizona Coyotes' Phil Kessel, who's 34 and has the second longest streak at 941. That's according to NHL.com. So guess what? If Yandel falters just a little bit, if he falters, it's going to be Phil Kessel taking over. If not this season, well, can't be this season. It would be next season. Phil Kessel's a damn good player from the Pittsburgh Penguins over in Arizona now. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come. We're going to stick with hockey here for just a minute. Then we might jump into baseball. Don't go anywhere. Back on the circus.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. That's 800-989-1694.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happened. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. Again, that's 800-361-3491.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pouty Arco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system. And it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit bestsupertea.com. The first word is best, spelled B-E-S-T, then the word super, then the word tea. The complete website is bestsupertea.com, or call us at 818-274-8270, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-274-8270, bestsupertea.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Hotel TV Anonymous location. Can't really tell you which one, but actually I'll tell you that we're down in South Texas. It'll kind of narrow it down just a little bit. So this one's for all of our Hotel TV audience doing something live. We have actually a fairly large crowd outside the door, but I'm in a private area here, so we can actually do this show without any interruptions. All right, this segment brought to you in part by Cali Vegas, helping people create and host their very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk shows. Cali Vegas can help with everything that needs, and it got us sitting in hours of traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job, and host their very own talk show in their very own home studio. For more information, contact Cali Vegas at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, 949-445-1119, or visit online for more information at www.calivegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. All right, a big welcome back to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Magic 97.9 FM right around the corner from the Fremont Street Experience over in Las Vegas. KCAA, that's NBC News, NBC Financial, over in the Southland, Southern California. Big hello to everybody else that's streaming on AMP TV, AAMP.tv. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow as well. AAMP.tv, and everybody else, including the hot air balloons, the Mars rover, and flying cars from the Jetsons. All right, sticking with hockey. Now, the Washington Capitals, Dmitry Orlov, got a 2-game suspension for kneeing Nikola Ehlers. So Ehlers got the proverbial knee-on-knee hit. But these are bad. These are really bad. Now, this is a CBS Sports story. Now, NBC handed out, or better yet, the NHL handed out Washington's defenseman Dmitry Orlov a much-deserved 2-game suspension for a vicious knee-on-knee hit of Winnipeg Jets forward Nikola Ehlers. Now, Orlov drove his knees into Ehlers' knee into and during a 4-3 overtime victory for Washington, and injuring Ehlers on the play. As a matter of fact, in a video explaining Orlov's suspension, the NHL Department of Player Safety said Orlov had time to react to Ehlers' changing position, but instead extended his arms and knees, quote, to attempt to get a piece of Ehlers, close quote. A hit Ehlers' upper body as opposed to the knee that would have been legal. And the video actually added. So Orlov will forfeit $51,000 in salary as a part of the suspension, will miss Washington's game against the Bruins and, of course, the Ottawa Senators. Well, of course, with 53 points, Washington is only one behind the Metro Division leading Carolina Hurricanes and New York Rangers. Yes, New York Rangers, which are doing a great job over there after being canned a couple of years ago from the Vegas Golden Knights, unjustly, in my opinion. So this is Orlov's second career suspension, as the 10-year veteran missed 2 games for boarding back in 2014. Now, while Orlov will miss a couple games for kneeing Ehlers, the Jets forward himself could be out much longer, and Ehlers got injured on the play and will be out of the Jets lineup indefinitely. Orlov wasn't even penalized for the play in the first place. Hit your boo buttons, folks. As a result, Winnipeg coach Dave Lowry is disappointed, to say the least. And Lowry said after the loss, quote, "If the officials would have saw the same way that I did, it would probably have been more of a minor penalty. Lose a world-class player. It's a fast game, and I have the luxury of watching and rewinding it and watching it slow motion. You're disappointed as a coach, and I lose a player, and I will probably lose him for more than one game." Now, Orlov is eligible to return for the Caps game against the Vegas Golden Knights, and that same type of BS is the same thing, the same hit that former Blackhawks center, Blackhawks great Jeremy Roenick, he took from Darian Hatcher from the Dallas Stars, and it nearly destroyed his career. This is bad stuff, folks. So when you think about these players getting hit knee on knee, so you're skating, imagine you're walking even, and somebody steps in front of your leg and pops your knee, not directly head on, but slightly from the side. So now it's tweaking the MCL, the medial collateral, the ACL, the anterior cruciate. And I got to tell you, this is really bad stuff. And not only did that, it ruptures it, but it also hyperextends and it causes lifelong damages. This is the whole knee replacement thing we've heard so much about. Maybe stem cell can help it these days. I don't really know, but Jeremy Roenick's career was on a serious swing upward when he got injured by Darian Hatcher. In fact, shortly thereafter, Jeremy Roenick was dumped by former owner Bill Wirtz of the Blackhawks. Hit your boo buttons there, folks. Bill Wirtz was, in my opinion, the worst owner the NHL has ever seen. He is also the wealthiest owner, too. He owned banks and parking garages and all kinds of stuff. Nonetheless, he dumped Jeremy Roenick, who then went to Arizona, played over there, played in San Jose, played in a few other places. Jeremy Roenick was a great guy. And he's still out there catching rattlesnakes, as I saw a video of him anyway. But his career was essentially really set back from that knee-on-knee injury. And this is the kind of thing that Ehlers may be facing as well with that knee-on-knee. Hopefully, he didn't have an ACL, an MCL, or any kind of a injury like that. So really bad stuff. All right, I'm going to shift over to baseball real quick. Now, of course, Major League Baseball will not require minor league players. Listen to this. Major League Baseball will not require minor league players to take shots in this coming season, per a report. Now, Major League Baseball issued a memo to teams indicating that minor league players will not be required to receive the ahead non-FDA approved experimental drug injections of the 2022 season. So they don't have to get those shots, according to the four-letter network. Now, other on-field personnel, including managers, coaches, will need to be, quote, up to date, close quote, with their shots in order to have direct contact with the players. Now, in a follow-up tweet, the four-letter network provided a statement from the league officials noting that, quote, reasonable accommodations, close quote, for exemptions, I love this one, for exemptions could and would be made on an individual basis based on state law. But those exemptions requested may entail, quote, bona fide, close quote, religious and medical reasons. Wait a minute. Didn't we see this movie already? We saw this, in fact, recently with, tennis great Djokovic. So Djokovic from Serbia and the Australian Open, they had a problem. First, they said, oh, it's okay. You can play. Oh, no, you didn't take your shots. Your exemption was void. Some garbage like that. And so they banished him and made him, they actually deported him. They made him leave Australia. Yes, the country founded by what? Criminals, the penal colony. Google it, folks. It is what it is. So what about those players with religious exemptions? Now, we see this movie too. So, that's right. They had a third-party independent person that actually makes these judgments. They make the decision as to the seriousness of their beliefs. Yes, a third party. A third party is the one that says this. And this is just, I don't know, it's not a priest. It's not a rabbi. It's not a minister. I don't know who the hell it is. It's not the Pope. It's probably some government official, some local government official, or some crap like that. I mean, what a crock of crap that is. So look, it's unclear why Major League Baseball opted against mandating shots for all minor league personnel. In fact, the league was reportedly close to enhancing a policy that would have mandated all minor league baseball players to receive the non-FDA approved experimental drug injection back in October. And it's also unclear if those shots will be mandatory for big leaguers as part of the next collective bargaining agreements, though one would suspect not, based on the precedent Major League Baseball is setting on the minor league side in the first place. But the no-shot mandate is the second notable piece of news to surface on the minor league front. Now, earlier, advocates for minor leagues released a statement criticizing Major League Baseball's new housing policies on the grounds that the players were not afforded any input in the policy-making process. So this is that unilateral agreement that we've heard so much about in the past, folks. So when a decision is made for you and you have no right or no say in it, that is done unilaterally, but by somebody else. You don't even get a say in it. So guess what? Those players are getting bent over. It's awful. So at the end of the day, those players, no advocates, actually, they didn't even, there are several flaws with the policy too, including a lack of accommodations for married players. What about that? You've got guys that are out there playing ball. They got a wife and kids. How do you handle that? Guess what? You don't handle it. They have to somehow suck it up and figure it out. Now, although big league players remain locked out by the owners, casting doubt on the chances of spring training beginning as normal, minor league players are expected to report for duty as usual next month. In fact, that's because minor league players are not represented by Major League Players Baseball Association, right? So the MLBPA does not represent them. So therefore, they're kind of like the slave labor, right? And therefore are not subject to the same policies during a work stoppage. Now, additionally, that's also why players are allowed to sign minor league contracts during the lockout, whereas any transactional activity involving big league players is not allowed until after the lockout is lifted. And folks, this lockout thing, let's kind of talk about this for a second. The lockout thing is what? It's about money. It's always about money. Money, 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 money. Show me the money. It's always about money. TV contracts. At the end of the day, TV contracts rule the landscape for baseball, football, basketball, hockey, and the other sports involved, even tennis, I would imagine. I still think that, of course, Djokovic really got a raw deal, but we're not talking about him right now. But at the end of the day, this whole money lockout thing, look, they're going to start on time. Oh, they're going to magically come to some agreement or some crap like that, because there's too much money that's going to be missed. Think about all the coverage, the TV coverage alone for minor league baseball. It's worldwide TV coverage. Oh, by the way, what about all the revenue from the gate, right? Ticket sales, parking, concessions, souvenirs. What about all that? What about the hotels and motels in those areas in Arizona for the Cactus League and the Citrus League down in Florida? What about all the local economies that are going to get hammered by this? And I'm saying localized in Arizona. What about City of Glendale, City of Tempe, City of Surprise, right? City of Phoenix. What about City of Mesa, where the Cubs are at? The point is, all of these cities, these local economies are all going to be affected. This is why they absolutely have to come to some kind of agreement. Never mind all those down in Florida, Port St. Lucie, Port Charlotte, the greater Bradenton, the greater Tampa area. Look, there are so many minor league teams, right where the Yankees are. So many minor league teams, so much money involved from baseball, from ticket sales, from parking, from food, from alcohol sales, of course. What about the advertising? There's a truckload of money that's going to be lost from advertising there too. So make no mistake, folks, they're going to get this thing right. They have to get it right because there are billions of dollars at stake. And all of that's going to feel really, really sour if they don't get the deal done. And needless to say, they're going to get it done. There's our music, and that means that's the end of today's show. So for myself, your ringmaster, and for myself, your ringmaster, I'm your ringmaster, and we'll see you next time right here on your favorite station. Until then, so long, everyone.
Business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.